If you're an ADHD mom or an autistic mom, then you're probably experienced with autistic shutdowns. If you're an autistic or ADHD mom, or both, which I am, then you're probably familiar with what an autistic shutdown looks like. If not, then hopefully today my story will help you identify when you've had an autistic shutdown or in the future when you do, and very simple steps to first of all comfort you through the shutdown so you can really go into it, feel it, allow yourself to truly shut down, introspect, let the answers rise to the surface, and then I'll share with you some very quick ways to come out of your autistic shutdown and re-enter family life again. Hi, my name is Ananga. I am an autistic and ADHD mom. I'm married to Vinny, who has ADHD. My son, Sunny, is ADHD and autistic, and my daughter, Minnie, is a highly sensitive. Welcome to our neurodivergent family. Please subscribe and be part of our neurodivergent journey as we figure out life. What caused my autistic shutdown? I made a whole video about it. It was actually triggered by an autistic meltdown. A meltdown is where there were tears, there was feeling of anger, frustration, and basically a fight. In that scenario, it was a fight with my husband, who at the moment went into an ADHD rage because he has ADHD. So his ADHD rage triggered my ADHD meltdown. After yesterday's meltdown, I felt so raw and I felt so wronged. I felt like what happened was unfair. I felt like I was innocent and what happened was not a fair treatment of me. And this caused me to shut down, close myself off to the world and to my family, and want to hide away and just remove myself from the picture altogether. What does an autistic shutdown look like? For me, it was this emotional shutdown. I wanted to emotionally cut myself off from, of course, my husband, because we had a fight yesterday, but also my kids and also my mom and my in-laws. I didn't want to text anybody. I didn't want to call anybody. I didn't want to see anybody. I didn't want anyone's warmth. I didn't want this like warm smile that my kids often give me. I didn't want that. I just was in this bubble of self-pity and this like, poor me, and I just wanted to shut myself off. Another sign was that I got a headache. I got an actual headache and extreme stiffness on one side of my neck, and this is probably from all this pent up feelings that I was storing in my body that I refused to let go. Okay, so often during autistic meltdowns, what happens is the muscles in a person's body get really, really tense. And even small children can get this like iron grip. They'll hold on to something, for example, a pen or a chair or something. And if you try to physically move the child away from the chair, you can't. The chair is coming with the child. The strength, they get this like super strength in the body. This is probably what happened to me yesterday during my autistic meltdown, and all this like tension was still stored in my body, and it showed up this morning as a headache and a neck pain over here. Mom joke here, but I guess the phrase pain in the neck is an actual thing. What else does an autistic shutdown look like? It is darkness, it's sensory absence. I wanted like sensory deprivation. That's what I was kind of going for. As I said, the curtains were drawn, the lights were off, it was dark in the room, it was cold, I think the heat was off, and I was still in my pajamas, and I wanted to have the blanket over my head. I had my journal, which is right here, my trusty little journal. It was pushed away. I didn't even want to look at it. My phone was away and didn't want to look at it. I didn't want any connection with the world. I just wanted absolute zero sensory input. This is what my autistic shutdown needed in that moment. Finally, my autistic shutdown needed for me to make myself socially isolated. I needed social isolation, and I needed energy just to come out of this situation. And any social interaction means I'm having to mask my autism. So I haven't shared with you yet, but I'm 39 years old and I just found out that I'm autistic. So for 39 years, I have been masking my autism, masking my weirdness, masking my meanness. It's second nature now. But unfortunately, it drains you. It takes so much energy to mask yourself, to hide the autisticness in yourself. You know, the stimming, I constantly twirl my hair and I rub it under my nose, and I even bite my hair sometimes, not to do this so that I don't look too girly or stupid. Just like constantly thinking about this stuff takes so much energy. So I needed social isolation. I needed nobody else to see me, not even my kids, because I had no energy left to mask. So this is what an autistic shutdown can look like. If you can relate, if this has happened to you, it's not just a depression. It's not just a bout of depression. It's not just an off day. It might actually be a shutdown, an autistic shutdown. And if you're masked autist, like I am actually, it's a journey to unmask it. It might take me years, but anyway, when you don't realize that this is what's happening. You don't realize why you're reacting this way, why you need to go into this cocoon and protect yourself and shelter yourself just to come back to having enough energy to re-enter life again, to re-enter family life, to re-enter society. I have to end with the question of how this affected the kids. I'm a neurodivergent mom and I have neurodivergent kids. They're picking up, they're absorbing everything, verbal and non-verbal, from their parents, from this neurodivergent autistic ADHD mom. So how did my shutdown affect them? Luckily, they knew that mommy needs some time and they just let me sleep in a way. Of course, my son, who's autistic and more in tune with me, he's more like me. He probably gets me the most because he's the most ADHD autistic, probably on the same level. I mean, he's a bit more, but you know, he gets me. So he did come in and check a few times, but he also understood that I need my time right now, and this is not about them. I hope and I pray that they know that this wasn't about them, that this was really my own thing, and I needed this time to process and to let myself go into a shutdown, really to shut down so that I could recuperate, regenerate, and make sense of all these events that happened and come back to presence. Now, how to come out of an autistic shutdown. My next video talks about that and shares the exact steps that I took to come out of this shutdown, to re-engage with my ADHD husband again, to come out of this headlock, and to re-enter my family life again, to be able to be there again for my kids, my family, my home. So stay tuned for that one. Thanks for watching.